New set piece flow. Work alongside your set piece coach to lay down your attacking and defensive preferences. Oh, this is so good. Your coach will then create suitable routines for you to customize in brand new ways. Oh, it's so good. That's so good. That is so good. I don't know why they didn't do this earlier, but oh, that's so good. So let's look at what this looks like. Your input is required to better understand. Here, let's walk on sunshine, but let's focus. Required to better understand your set piece preferences. This will help us set your routines, which you can later adjust as you wish. Oh, love you. Defensive marking strategy, zonal player marking, or hybrid. They literally have exactly what I did last year. Biggest aerial defenders will zonally mark while the rest will mark individual opponents. The way that's worded makes me think that you're just going to be able to say that and then all of your biggest players will be in the right spots every time. Hundreds of hours of my life dedicated to adjusting set pieces are over. There are just a couple more defense-focused questions to ask. What posts do you want players marking? Oh, it's... Ivan, thanks for asking. It's important to consider counterattacks. This will impact how many players we decide to leave forward while defending set pieces. Counterattack, balance, or defend the box. Okay. Ball delivery is one of the most important aspects of attacking set pieces. Where would you like to focus our set piece deliveries? Far post, central, near. Is there a variety? Is there a way to mix it up at all, or do you just choose one? It's important to think about the other team's potential counterattacking threats from our attacking set pieces. Defend transition, balanced, stay high. It's the same thing in mirror. In-swinger, out-swinger. And then they're creating your set pieces based off your answers. Oh, I've been waiting to read this for years. Whether they're a potent source of goals or one of your team's key defensive strengths, set pieces are an integral aspect of every football match and every manager's tactical approach. Exactly, which is why we needed this. In our series to date, expert insight from key industry contacts means the set piece coaches make their debut and will help to power a refreshed set piece creator. A powerful new voice in your back room. Was he like a baritone or something? Ah, set piece coach, right. Added a set piece attribute to every coach in the database that indicates their ability to train players in the tactical aspects of set pieces. Okay, so there is quite literally a set piece attribute underneath mental. It's in the coaching section. They've had to add it for everyone in the game, which you know they're just making it up for like 80% of the people. This creator, this set piece creator that we were just looking at, makes a significant shift from how we've approached set pieces in previous editions. Now, the focus of every routine and scenario is on the players with the most important, most appropriate attributes instead of their positions in your tactic. Thank you! Thank you so much! Thank you! More adaptive and intelligent routines. Your set piece coach will use the answers you provide to craft some initial corner and free kick routines. When these routines are created, you now see that every set piece has specific roles attached to it. For example, at a corner, the key roles outside of the taker are aerial threat, box threat, recovery, defender, and creator. Hold the horses. Hold all of the horses. Instead of you needing to manually assign instructions to specific positions, instructions are now automatically assigned by your backroom team to each of these 4 role categories. For example, instead of saying that you want your right-sided central defender to attack the far post, your biggest aerial threat will now be given that job. This is exactly what I would... Did they structure this the way I was telling them to like 2 years ago? I'm not saying they copied me. I'm just saying your great minds think alike here. Each role category is ranked from top to bottom, with the top instruction being assigned to your most suitable player on match day. Oh, it's even better than what I told. Oh, dude, this is even better than what I thought of. So you have aerial threats, and I'm assuming you'll file players away as like, this player's an aerial threat, right? Or they're their best aerial threats in the team or whatever. And then you'll be like, my best aerial threat attack far post, second mark keeper, third attack ball from the edge of the area. Like, you can rank it. That's so good. Then you stay back if needed. Aim for taker type of corner. Oh, it's pretty. Preview options. Ooh, what's that? What are you? This is transcendent. This is the best thing they're adding to the game. I don't care. Set pieces could play the exact same way, but in terms of actually being a football manager with this game, you know, wants to create for you, this is the biggest change they've made in years. These rankings automatically update as you change team selection, formation, or make substitute. Oh, huge. You change the formation and they'll just automatically update. Meanwhile, you no longer need to micromanage your setups every time. Oh, you don't even need to rank the players. It'll just choose for you. Oh, wow, that's like particularly awesome. So it'll just choose your 4 best aerial threats and put them in that spot. Is this what it feels like when a game listens to the community and does something that it really just should do and everybody acknowledges that it should do? That's just amazing. It's an amazing feeling. I'm floating right now. These player rankings are accompanied by a new priority list, which allows you and your set piece coach to determine which roles you think are the most important at each type of set piece. Which role is the most important at each type of set piece? If one of your players based on their attributes is ranked number 1 in more than one role, they'll be assigned to the one that's positioned higher. So you can, I'm assuming you can you can ask your assistant to assign, but you can also go in and rank them yourself if you want to be super hardcore about it. And then over here, you have your priorities. So you can be like, aerial defenders, trackers, counterattackers here. This is defending. And then you can rank your aerial defenders, rank your trackers, and rank your counterattackers. So I was going to be surprised if it was just automatic. As convenient as that would be, they got to give you the opportunity to change it yourself. We introduced a new concept of set piece familiarity. Oh, okay. In FM24, to reflect the work your players do on each routine and training, having greater understanding as well as smarter ways of prioritizing your threats will help you unlock opposition defenses and better implement your set piece philosophy. So where is it? Oh, the familiarity is on the routine. Okay. So basically just set it up and don't change it. Just set it up and don't change it. This is pretty, though. Look at the way this looks. When you, like, not in adjusting it, this is really pretty. When you want to add new attacking corner and free kick routines, you've got the choice of either duplicating the one initially created or selecting an alternative. The addition of any new routines will trigger a pop-up that allow you to indicate the frequency with which you use each one in matches. So you can have, like, 3 routines and be like, I want to use this one 75% of the time, this one 10% of the time, and this one 15% of the time. You probably can't get that specific, but you can indicate the frequency with which you use each one, giving you another tool to optimize your attacking threats. A more authentic approach to throw-ins. Okay. Throw-ins were just weird this year. They didn't really make any sense, and where you'd tell people to go, sometimes they just wouldn't go there, depending on who you were telling to go where. Yeah, I hope the corridor of uncertainty is gone. The corridor of death, you know, like box extended, where you just get that one-on-one cross the back post. Mirroring more closely how teams approach throw-ins in the game, we've changed our approach from previous FMs. Now you'll be asked by your set-piece coach to indicate how you want to tackle throw-ins in defensive, middle, and attacking thirds of the pitch. First two give you the option to retain possession, work the line, while for attacking third, you can choose to work the ball into the box or go straight for a long throw. Okay. Hopefully, I mean, this is one of those, we got to see how this plays out in the game, too. Retain. So this is basically, you can be aggressive with your throw-ins, or you can throw it backwards and look to retain possession. And you can do a long throw, and it tiers out the same way. Streamlining your creative talents, much like the personnel lists for every routine, your set piece takers are all now automatically assigned by your backroom team. Sweet. The takers themselves are now ranked based off their relevant attributes, and you'll notice the deliveries are now categorized by swing rather than left or right side. Having made these changes to the set piece creator, we've now separated penalties into their own tab. There are 2 additional customization options there, including one that allows you to change the taker if your first choice missed a penalty earlier in the game. Oh, that's sick. So you don't have to pause before the penalty. If your first choice taker misses their first penalty, you can just be like, yeah, give it to the other guy. Routines set piece coach created aren't entirely set in stone. You're empowered to edit them in and customize them. If you're happy with them, though, this is where your set piece coach can come into their own, as it can delegate full responsibility for all aspects of set pieces in your career. Should you want them to, they can handle everything in training and update the personnel and set piece taker list as you make changes to your team. Cool, so you can automate it. You can automate it well, which you have not been able to do in Football Manager, at least as long as I've been playing it. Ultimately, this means your set piece routines will now be better aligned with your preferences, and once they're set, you can be involved as much or as little as you want. For Ben's sake, I'll be sure to be heavily involved. All right, that's good. You'll be able to just set up your defense specifically to counter whatever the other team is doing. Bring back the network game. No, we may. There might be a network game appearance this year. Well, that is awesome.